The 60s changed music forever. Rock was louder, bolder, and more rebellious than any sound before it. But with that freedom came backlash, and some songs paid the price. Across the globe, entire countries banned tracks for being too political, too sexual, or simply too provocative for their time. What began as music became a cultural battlefield. Today, we uncover the stories behind these controversies. These are 10 rock songs of the 60s banned in whole countries and why. When Louie Louie hit the airwaves in 1963, it sounded raw and chaotic, a garage rock anthem that spoke to teenage rebellion. But its slurred vocals sparked a moral panic. Parents and officials claimed the lyrics hid obscene messages, fueling one of the strangest scandals in rock history. Indiana became ground zero for the ban, with Governor Matthew Welsh urging radio stations statewide to pull the track. Soon, the controversy spread across multiple American cities, including Chicago and Boston, where stations feared public outrage. The song wasn't just banned, it became a target of national censorship. The Federal Bureau of Investigation launched a 31-month investigation, decoding every syllable to find the alleged obscenities. In the end, the report concluded the lyrics were unintelligible, yet the stigma stuck. Louie Louie was officially banned from numerous U.S. radio stations during its peak. Ironically, the uproar made the song legendary. Today, it's celebrated as a rebellious classic, a tune that exposed the cultural paranoia of the 60s. How can 3 minutes of gibberish scare a nation? In 1965, Barry McGuire released Eve of Destruction, a haunting ballad that called out war, racism, and political hypocrisy. Its raw honesty clashed with the image of a patriotic, stable America, and that made it dangerous.
It is exploding, violence flaring.
Radio stations across Los Angeles and San Francisco were the first to pull it, fearing backlash during the height of the Vietnam War. In the United Kingdom, the British Broadcasting Corporation refused to air it, labeling the lyrics too inflammatory for public consumption. This was not just a song, it was a protest set to music. The track's vivid imagery, "You're old enough to kill but not for voting," hit hard in a country drafting teenagers to war. Conservative politicians condemned it, calling it un-American propaganda. Its spread was tightly controlled in major U.S. markets, from New York to Dallas.
I can't twist the truth.
Despite the bans, Eve of Destruction soared to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, proving censorship couldn't silence a movement. Released in 1967, Mr. Farmer by the Seeds sounded like a playful ode to rural life, but the counterculture heard something else. Its lyrics about planting seeds and living off the land were interpreted as coded drug references. Radio stations in Los Angeles, Detroit, and even conservative cities like Dallas yanked it from playlists almost immediately. Program directors feared promoting the psychedelic lifestyle at a time when anti-drug campaigns dominated public policy. In a decade obsessed with morality, this track crossed the line. The Seeds denied the allegations, claiming the song was about farming, not forbidden substances. Still, the timing amid the summer of love and rising LSD culture only fueled suspicion. Once branded as pro-drug, its airplay plummeted nationwide. Ironically, the controversy cemented the band's cult status. Today, Mr. Farmer is remembered as a snapshot of the paranoia surrounding youth culture.
Has gone red.
Australian band The Easy Beats pushed boundaries in 1967 with Heaven and Hell, a song drenched in sensuality. The British Broadcasting Corporation declared it immoral, banning it for lyrics they deemed too sexually explicit. The most controversial line, "discovering someone else in your bed," was enough to set off alarms in conservative London. The ban quickly spread to stations in Manchester and Birmingham, effectively killing its UK momentum. Back then, One suggestive phrase was all it took to ignite a scandal. To salvage airplay, the band recorded a sanitized version, but the damage was done. Other markets, like Sydney and Melbourne, followed suit with restrictions, leaving fans frustrated and fueling underground demand for the original track. Decades later, the band feels almost comical, yet it reveals how strict gatekeepers were in the 60s. Van Morrison's Brown-Eyed Girl is now considered one of the most beloved tracks in history, but in 1967, it was scandalous. The line "making love in the green grass" was enough to spark outrage from conservative broadcasters. Several major markets, including Boston and Cincinnati, refused to play it. Some UK stations also joined the ban, arguing the lyric was too explicit for public radio. Ironically, its cheerful melody masked a controversy simmering beneath the surface. For censors, innocence in sound did not excuse boldness in words. Morrison admitted the lyric was autobiographical, which only intensified the backlash. While many stations eventually restored the song, its early censorship kept it from reaching even greater heights during its initial release. Today, Brown-Eyed Girl feels harmless, even sweet, but history proves that times change, and so do standards. In 1960, "Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow" made history as the first song by an all-female group to hit #1 in the United States, but its success came with controversy. The song's honest question about love after intimacy shook the conservative values of the era. Many radio stations in southern cities like Memphis and Birmingham banned it outright, claiming it encouraged premarital sex. Even in northern cities such as Philadelphia, some broadcasters hesitated to play it during prime hours. For a pop song, it was seen as far too bold. The Shirelles never intended scandal, they simply voiced the thoughts of countless young women in a changing world. Yet the backlash revealed deep cultural tensions about gender and morality. Despite censorship, the track became a timeless anthem of vulnerability and honesty. Today, the lyrics feel tender and innocent compared to modern music. Doesn't it seem strange that this question once terrified America? When Try It hit the scene in 1965, it sparked an immediate uproar. Its seductive chorus urging someone to try love was branded indecent by multiple U.S. stations. For conservative program directors, the suggestion was too explicit for family listening hours. Cities like Cleveland, Detroit, and Pittsburgh quickly banned the track from airplay. The controversy escalated when influential radio watchdog groups condemned it publicly, accusing the song of promoting sexual promiscuity. In a decade fighting over youth culture, this was gasoline on the fire. Both the Standells and Ohio Express recorded versions of the song, but neither escaped censorship. The band's crippled its chart potential, turning what could have been a major hit into a cult curiosity instead. Decades later, the lyrics sound almost tame, but in 1965, they felt like rebellion set to music. In 1965, country star Loretta Lynn released "The Pill," a groundbreaking song about birth control. Its bold honesty about women's reproductive freedom shocked the establishment and led to widespread bans.
But all I've seen of this.
Major markets like Nashville, Dallas, and even conservative pockets of Los Angeles refused to air it. Religious organizations condemned the track, calling it immoral and unfit for public broadcast. Some stations banned Loretta Lynn altogether for months. No other song had challenged social norms so openly. Despite the backlash, "The Pill" resonated with millions of women, cementing Lynn's reputation as a fearless voice. The controversy proved that music could spark social revolutions even in the most traditional genres.
Got the pill.
Today, the song feels historic, not scandalous. Isn't it incredible how 4 words could start a cultural war? Released in 1969, I Don't Like Mondays told the chilling true story of a school shooting in San Diego. Its blunt lyrics and haunting melody made headlines and triggered one of the most notorious bans by the British Broadcasting Corporation. The track was completely removed from BBC programming during sensitive periods, including the Gulf War, out of fear it would inflame public grief. Irish and some European stations followed suit, arguing the song's subject matter was too grim for airplay. It wasn't vulgarity this time, it was violence. Despite censorship, the track became a defining hit for the Boomtown Rats, topping charts in several countries. Its lyrics still feel unsettling today, a stark reminder of tragedies that remain all too real. In 1966, God Only Knows stunned the world with its beauty, but also stirred controversy. Some stations in the United Kingdom and the American Bible Belt banned it, citing the title as blasphemous. The Beach Boys had dared to put the word God in a love song, something unheard of in pop music. Conservative stations in places like Birmingham, Alabama, and small-town England refused to air it, fearing backlash from religious listeners. For a song of pure devotion, it carried unexpected weight. Over time, bans faded, and the track became one of the most celebrated in history, praised by legends like Paul McCartney. Yet its early censorship shows how delicate cultural lines were in the 60s. Today, God Only Knows is revered as one of the greatest songs ever recorded. Can you imagine a world where this masterpiece stayed hidden? These songs were more than melodies, they were battles fought on the airwaves, challenging the boundaries of freedom and culture. Every band tells us as much about fear as it does about art. Some lyrics were too raw, too bold, or simply too ahead of their time, but that's what made them unforgettable. Which of these band tracks shocked you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, we'd love to hear your take. And if you're passionate about the untold stories of music history, hit that subscribe button and join us for more deep dives into the songs that changed everything.